Hello everyone, last week's experimental patch has actually just gone live in the real game. I'll give you a quick refresh of all the changes, my thoughts on the design philosophy behind them, and how this all might affect the meta. Every change except Sombra's speed when entering and exiting stealth has gone through. There are 5 buffs in this patch: D.Va, Moira, Orisa, Hog, and Sombra. Baptiste has been adjusted, and Echo and Reinhardt have been nerfed. Baptiste's secondary fire now does 10 less healing on AoE, but does 20 more healing for direct hits. Immortality Field now only protects teammates to 10% of their max health instead of 20%. D.Va's Call Mech damage is now up to 250 from 50. When Echo's ult ends, she will return to the health value she had before casting her ultimate, or 100 health, whichever value is higher. Moira's Biotic Orb cooldown has been lowered by 2 seconds. Orisa's Halt cooldown has been lowered by 2 seconds. Reinhardt's armor has been lowered by 50, which lowers his total health pool down to 500 from 550. Roadhog's scrap gun damage per pellet has been increased from 6 to 6.6. Sombra's move speed bonus when in stealth has been increased by 15%. Right, so overall, even though I'm not a fan of a good amount of the changes, I think Blizzard's intentions are kind of sound. You can kind of see that they're trying to attack the available variety of team comps within the game. For those who don't know, what is being widely discussed as the meta right now, at least before this patch going live, is a rushdown Reinhardt team comp consisting of Rein, Zarya, Lucio, Baptiste, and some DPS variation of McCree, Doomfist, Mei, Reaper, and other characters that sort of go well along a Reinhardt. Well, Reinhardt has now been nerfed. It's not massive, it is 50 armor, and alongside this, Orisa has been buffed, and Dive is more or less untouched, because right before the last patch I would have said it was actually in a pretty good state. D.Va has a lot of armor and so does Winston. Hog has been buffed as well, but it is too early to say if people will naturally pair him with Orisa. Halt is not as good for landing hooks as it used to be, and the area is much smaller, so good halts are way harder to find. Basically, you can see with the rejig and at least the tank lineup that they want more tank variety. The changes to Baptiste also make sense in this regard. Using your lamp on someone who's not in a very defensible position is quite risky because they end up on such low health anyway and the lamp's quite easy to destroy. And your right click will get the most value out of someone you can consistently hit, which in my opinion is definitely Orisa. So it seems that they'd like to rejig the team comps a little bit so that Moira with her lowered cooldown would be a better pairing with Rein, and I'm telling you the cooldown's going to be oppressive, and you'll likely see Baptiste naturally paired with Orisa again. If it will actually play out like this, I can't say. The lamp is still a very strong ability, and using it aggressively to save individual targets is still good. On top of that, you can pocket individual targets better with your right click. It's just that hopefully the Moira changes make her overtake Baptiste as a pick alongside Reinhardt. So as an example, maybe you see Reinhardt with Moira on King's Row, and you see Orisa Baptiste on, I don't know, Havana, and Dive with Sombra on Dorado. Now, as to the reasons why I don't like these changes, in the patch notes, Blizzard already attacked the specifics of the rush comp with Reinhardt. He has less health, and Moira is also more of an attractive pick alongside Reinhardt. But on top of this, Orisa has been buffed. Baptiste is better with Orisa. Hog, which may be paired with Orisa, is also better. And I have a very strong feeling that we will quickly land on a team comp that is 1% better than every other team comp, which means it will be played 100% of the time, which is generally how these things have gone. I would have preferred if they just attacked the Reinhardt team comp just a slight amount and then let the meta stabilize. Heroes like Roadhog getting a buff are always something that I kind of shake my head at. It already happened before when Blizzard rejigged the meta a bit and gave Hog some buffs. It turned out he was already good and was just waiting for a few changes to other tanks to happen to become relevant. The damage he does with this change just means he's better at shredding main tanks. I'm not sure if anyone really wants that. The Orisa change, while it's going to be fun to spam out your ult because it's one of your more interactive abilities, again, no one wants to get CC'd off a 6-second cooldown. The Moira change, I think, is just awful. It's going to add a crap load of visual clutter. It's not fun. It's not any more fun really for Moira. It is just more spam and more crap on your screen. It doesn't add any depth to the gameplay. The Echo change, I think, is fine. She didn't really need a nerf, but this is one of those things that just sort of adds to the fairness of the game. It's more just attacking the BS feeling of an Echo ulting, you killing her, and her coming back full health with all her cooldowns again, essentially having 3 lives in total, so you can punish that a bit harder. The D.Va change is kind of inconsequential. It'll be an edge case to get a kill with this, and this should hopefully just stop baby D.Vas being stalled, so I think it's quite creative and good in that aspect. The Sombra change, I think, is fine. It'll just very slightly up her cohesion in keeping pace with heroes like Winston in a dive comp. Just note that a change like this will probably up her EMP speed just a little bit because she will have more uptime and more time to do things within one game. Same thing will happen with Hog's ult charge. Anytime you up damage, you will get faster ults. Orisa, this will likely be a thing as well because you can actually just afford to spam halt to catch people out and get a bit of damage on them. Moira is going to generate coalescence crazy fast, way faster than she did before. Baptiste's ult charge would probably be more or less the same. It'll likely be like 2% lower per game. For those of you who didn't know, Immortality Field actually did give you a tiny bit of ult charge if you saved people and it raised their health. And if you're trying to heal more than 2 targets, your healing output is lower overall on BAP now. And that's about it for the changes. If you're hoping to jump into the game and sort of have a look at one of these yourself, if you're a support player and the team comp sort of works around it, I reckon Moira is definitely worth a look in ranked, especially if your team comp allows it. You can really carry games with coalescence and you'll have that a lot more often. I'm going to be hopping on Orisa myself. I just want the tank variety. I can't undersell that Halt is going to be ridiculous right now. Hog players, go have fun. I'm going to still be playing Baptiste because I love the character. And I just like the aspect of the direct hits doing more, it's nice. I'm not sure if Echo's going to be in a great spot this patch. And those are the major things. I'd say I hope we don't land on one team comp, but I'd say be scared of Orisa and maybe Moira. Anyway guys, if you found this video helpful or insightful, please drop me a like or subscribe because it really helps me out. And leave your thoughts on the patch in the comments. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.